Good morning, everyone. We have case study number 2. This is another riveting study. So our agenda broke down, review of topic, potential risk, mitigation, and recap. Right, review of the topic. Not going to go over it. We all have the same case study. I have bolded the questions. Mainly, the main takeaways are, you know, what will happen if the company goes bankrupt or if the subcontractor goes bankrupt? Are you liable? If a collection agency comes after it, are you liable? And then what adjustments can you recommend to prevent this situation from happening in the future? Right now, granted, remember it's $500,000 carpet subcontracting firm, so it's not large, not small, kind of in that sweet spot pending. Questions could be raised if this is a public building, as far as like a public works building, or commercial, residential. But let's see some potential risks. All right, face value risk. This is just what was derived from the case study. Working with the unfamiliar with the subs. You've already got notices about their pre-liens, and also some of your material guys are already talking to you about it. Loss of the CEO. Now, this is huge, right? Chief Executive Officer. What was the reasoning for the loss? These are all questions that are kind of huge that should have been answered prior to finding yourself in this situation. And then the rumor of potential bankruptcy linked all together doesn't look good, right? And again, the results of this is potential project over time and over budget. Never a good thing. All right, let's talk about some mitigation. First and foremost, understanding your risk. Facilitate multiple avenues to support progress and remain within legal process, right? That's huge, right? There's a set of codes legally that we have to follow, right? Getting into that, the sub has completed work on time and within specs, but has submitted change orders for scope and design changes. However, they're having issues paying for material. What are your options? All right. So how is this contract written? Right. Can you legally broach this subject? This is very touchy because the work has been on time and within spec, and you can't go after legal. You can't do a stop order for potential rumors and the company CEO, right? Is the CEO leaving causing an issue on how payments are being distributed? And can you work with a third tier supply for potential other subs, right? So, like, having some understanding that a CEO leaving does leave a big gap, and that could be some of the issues. And can you reach out to the third tier supplier for a potential other sub that maybe doesn't have work going on right now as a thing in your back pocket, just in case this does go south? But right now, legally, depending on how the contract is written, right, you definitely can't stop work and you could be liable. But having that bond will help if the supplier or agency would decide to go after you. And again, can't stress this enough. When the contract writing is going on, you definitely need to ensure that you are not held liable for things like this. Right now, some of the times you'll have to mitigate it with increased bonds, maybe some insurance that they have to provide in case it does go south. All right, and again, if the work is continuing in a satisfactory manner, it will be difficult to legally stop payment or the work without recourse. What you can do to help expedite this process is review the change orders and decline them unless it's going to help expedite the process, right? But generally speaking, they're asking for a broader scope change, so they want more work. So they're trying to use you as a bank. And then recap and a way forward, right? I want to push it, right? Verify your subs. You could have, asked around what is the 5-year track record on this subcontractor. Maybe they don't even have a 5-year contract. That's something that should have been done prior or before you even got in the contract talks. If it is an unknown up and coming subcontractor, maybe not put them on a larger project, maybe start them out small, learn the way they move, get in contact, right? You know, definitely want to feel that out prior to submitting to a $500,000 bid, right? Definitely want to ensure roles and responsibilities are firmly written in that contract with legal. Like that's huge. You have to protect yourself in this process as well as to protect the interests of the owner, right? And then bond and insurance required as part of the bid, right? So if you're working with people, maybe you increase that bond, which was done in this one, right? It may cost you some bids, but if a company is, has a proven track record, always comes in under time, under payment, like that's a track record that you can, make a contract on versus an up and coming, right? And just recapping future projects, verify your subs, extremely important in larger scale projects. Make sure you get with legal to ensure contracts are do not hold you liable, and then mitigate your known risk early. So as you progress through the project, you're going to have more and more unknowns that come up, right? And you have to approach those when you receive them, right? But if you can look at your face value risks early and mitigate them, right, that's going to save you. I think also it's very important to have open conversations, with your owner, with the owner of that company. Hey, is this what's going on? What does this process look like? Is bankruptcy a potential issue? If it is, then I need to communicate this with my owner, with my general contractor, so that we can facilitate other avenues of approaches, right? Which hopefully, as a good project manager, you've already kind of mitigated that by having multiple avenues. Um, that would be my recommendation for moving forward. And again, thank you, Mason Graham. This is for BCT 217. Thank you very much.